It's take two with Victoria Highlanders and Calgary Foothills here at Centennial Stadium at the University of Victoria. Hello everyone, my name is Arturo, joined by Simon Brazier, as once again the Highlanders and Foothills renew acquaintances. Last time was just on Friday, only 2 days ago, and the Foothills walked out 4-1 victors. Simon, what was your biggest takeaway from that game?
I think I was super impressed with Calgary and how they came out. They were dominant, they were strong, they pressed from the first whistle, and it really didn't allow Victoria to play any kind of game towards what they were looking to perform, and they thoroughly deserved the 3 points in that one.
The biggest thing Coach Niendorf came away with was that personal mistakes were the biggest thing. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, we look at the first goal that happened in the second minute, a giveaway, a switch off of concentration, boom, it's 1-0. I believe a third goal as well, a bit of a giveaway, and 50% of the goals that Victoria conceded, that they did it to themselves. So I'm sure that they're going to be a lot more switched on. They're going to want a bit of revenge for sure.
One little bit of news to pass along. Yesterday, there was a player who collapsed on the sidelines after being taken off. That was defender Ewan Bald for the Foothills. He was taken to hospital. He is okay. He apparently had a bit of a history of a back injury, but he is all right and hopefully will be all right going forward. Meanwhile, his teammates on the Foothills will be taking on the Highlanders once again in just a few moments. And with the handshakes underway and completed, we are ready to start this second of two matches in this weekend. This is the final home match of the front-loaded schedule for the Highlanders. Their only remaining home match is in July against the TSS Rovers for the final of the Juan de Fuca Plate. That's going to be a good one. There will be a few more road matches after that, but the home season will conclude in July. Josh Banton standing at midfield now, wearing the captain's armband again for the Highlanders in the absence of Joshua Walter. Highlanders in their white kit today, while Foothills will be wearing their black kit with green trim. Ex-Highlander Marcus Campanelli joining Banton at center circle. And now the Highlanders in their huddle. You can see there, Shambusho, number 9. He is undoubtedly going to want to have a better outing than he did yesterday. There was a lot to like about Shambusho's play yesterday, and there was also just so many unnecessary giveaways, one of which was contributing directly to the first goal of the day.
Yep, spot on with that one. That third goal on Friday was, he'll be very disappointed with himself for that very simple pass just right into the path of very dangerous Calgary front three, and then within 2 or 3 touches it was in the top corner of the net. And just looking at the coin toss right now, Calgary won it. They decided to play into the wind, I believe, as it is down there, and I think the wind played a big part in the domination of the opening start of that game on Friday.
It certainly didn't hurt unless you were the Highlanders, in which case it absolutely did hurt them quite a bit. Wind has picked up since earlier this afternoon, as now the flags are fluttering just to the right of our screen. Highlanders in their white on our broadcast right will be attacking to the broadcast left, and in which wait the black and green Foothills. Number 16 there for the Highlanders, Gauthier Tigny. He will be called on to add another goal to his tally tonight, or this afternoon I should say, undoubtedly, after his tally on Friday to make the score a slightly more respectable 4-1.
Yep, 3 goals in 2 games. They'll be looking to add to that tally.
And already, giveaway right off the top here. It was the story of Friday, was those quick giveaways, those unnecessary passes that turned things over. And already, Highlanders on their own kick are off to a rough start. Ben Jackson once again back in goal here for the Foothills. Should give the starting lineups here for the Foothills. Jackson in goal. A back line of Pritchard, Chamoun, Hall, and Keane. Virtually unchanged, minus the injury to Ewan Bald. It's basically what it was as soon as Bald came up injured. This was their back line as Connor Guillerme knocks that out into touch for the Highlanders. Midfield of Rendell, Hayfield, and Campanelli, so the former Highlander once again starting, and a front three of Facunle, Accio, and Peppel. So again, this is a very familiar starting 11 for Foothills. Highlanders know what they're going to see here, and Foothills know what to do with this lineup. Meanwhile, for the Highlanders, as Pritchard gets ready to throw in here, thinks twice about it. He's not happy with what he sees is Danny Pritchard. Now he likes it, lobs it into the area, over the heads of both Guillerme and Banton. A bit scrambly there, and Simon Norgrove Has to be quick and careful with that to scoop it up. So finishing with the lineups here for the Highlanders, Norgrove in net, Adib, Guillerme, Banton, and Shojai along the back. So Colley is sent back to the bench. Adib had the better matchup going forward, so this is not really a surprise. You're excited to see, to see Adib get the start.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe Keenan Colley had a very difficult outing on Friday. He was slightly outmatched on that right-hand side, and I believe that's probably why that change has happened today. And we'll see if Adib can create something down that right-hand side, and those obviously the wing backs for both sets of players will be important elements during this football match.
Mackenzie Cole draws in as well to start over Sam Fletcher. He'll be next to Sean Young and Shun Takano. And up front, it's Antigone, Davidson, and Shambusha. So chance for redemption here, really, for a lot of these Highlanders to make good on yesterday, or on Friday, excuse me. Feels like only yesterday.
It does. It wasn't a short time ago. And yeah, those players down there are gonna obviously know their matchups, their marks. They're gonna be very familiar, and Victoria are gonna, I hope, be looking to right some wrongs from the 4-1 loss on Friday evening.
Pritchard now on the right. Fortunate touch there for the Highlanders. They will get the throw. Shojai back to Young. Young, only 18 years old, playing like a man above his years. Certainly Coach Niendorf is happy to see him grow and progress, though he had a few small criticisms of some of the passes Young was playing out on Friday. It's one of the most animated pregame talks we've had with Coach Thomas Niendorf, Simon, is he had a lot of emotion talking about that Friday game and what could be learned from it.
Yeah, we got a lot of insight into kind of what Victoria are thinking, how they're tactically going to look at this game, the second of two fixtures with Calgary. And last week, on Friday, he mentioned that game, you know, they could afford to lose, but I think it's really important that they pick up points today, and more importantly, put a performance out there.
So Pritchard nods that down. Dropped by Shamoon, intercepted, and running forward here. It's Mackenzie Cole. That will fall instead to Kunle. It goes all the way back to Jackson.
Yeah, what you'll notice with Calgary, sorry to interrupt, they just do the simple things so well, and they'll go back to their keeper, they'll knock it to the left, they'll knock it to the right, they barely take risks, and it can be very difficult for a team to break down when they're like kind of mildly robotic back there.
It's very patient, very methodical, dare I say formulaic. But to their credit, Foothills know how they want to play, and if you make one mistake, they are ready to pounce over it immediately.
Absolutely, and you know, we saw a couple of the goals on Friday night were exactly like that. You know, two mistakes, positional mistake, and a poor pass back to the back line for Victoria, and boom, you know, it was 1-0 in a heartbeat last week, and Victoria were having an uphill battle from that beginning stages.
Shojai. Clips went out far right. That should be cleaned by Jackson, and is, as McCole had gone forward to look for that. Mackenzie Cole getting the start here, already showing the impetus to go forward. Starting in more of an 8, more of a box-to-box role here in the absence of Captain Joshua Walter, who once again is unavailable for selection. His presence in midfield has been missed here. I can only imagine how things would have been different with the captain in his normal spot here in the midfield.
Absolutely, such a big player to miss, such a talented, smart footballer. But there's some talent out there for Victoria, and there's hopefully the confidence can increase and the guys get out there and show their talent. Right now we're seeing quite a lot of trade over in possession as players are trying to get comfortable. Victoria, we can see with Ntigi kind of hugging that left-hand side, Takano on the right, and Davidson and Shambusha spearheading the attack for Victoria. You can see they're kind of backing off a little bit here. They let Calgary have it there as they look to go long.
And it It will be brought down just to the right there, and Adib will get into a bit of a jostling match there for it. Adib starting here, providing a little more height than did Keenan Colley. And certainly that has to be a deliberate choice there by Niendorf. We saw how much trouble Colley had, especially trying to contain Arabin Peppel. And Peppel really just managed to work him over for that penalty he earned and the resulting goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Got the Colley got the wrong side of the attacker and kind of put out a flailing foot, and it was no question it was a penalty and very well executed. But again, it's positional mistakes that really can really cost you.
Banton and Rendell there jostling for it before it goes out for a throw. Ethan Keane. And the youngsters, I mean, they're all youngsters, but comparatively, one of the younger players, Ethan Keane, seeing time here for the Foothills and certainly not looking out of place in doing so. That is thumped long and clear by Takano. Jackson out of his area to retrieve it. Chamoun. Yassine Chamoun just waits with it. No rush here. Back comes Hayfield. Keep things under control. Long ball there from Chamoun. That's going to go right to Norgrove.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for that one from the back line all day today, whether that's over the top or out wide into the channels. It's something that Calgary really press on. There's not a whole lot of play through the back line to the midfield.
Akio there forcing the turnover, and Rendell now will move forward. Rendell has Fakunle out wide right. That's where it goes. He tries the return ball to Rendell. It's a nice run. Puts the first time cross in, cleared by Guillermo. Shojai tries to play for the corner there, just gives it away to Rendell. Has to be careful. No foul given. And a little bit of a bat there by Norgrove. He will call off Takano and claim it.
Good goalkeeping there. I'm not sure who went to ground pretty easily there for Calgary, but it might
have been Rendell there. I think he was going up on the right-hand side on the return ball. Meanwhile, Mackenzie Cole charging through midfield. Rendell has already moved back to check him. Once again, Rendell, 2 days ago we were commenting on his work rate. He has not let off a moment here. 9 minutes in. Drake Rendell has shown that he has a pace, quite literally pace for days now. We can say that between 2 days. Meanwhile, Shambusho clips it out to the right, looking for the run of Takano. Takano turns, tries to square it forward, but nobody was there. Instead, Rendell will just stride forward with it. Puts it low. Akio. Akio one-on-one against Shojai, cuts in on his right foot. Not able to get it in the end. He did get one last touch on it, though, trying to make that cross, and that will be a goal kick for the Highlanders. So already that test along the right side, Shojai is going to have his hands full, and we knew that coming in, Simon, but it's just that big of a challenge here for Iliad Shojai.
Absolutely, he's going to be fully aware of that, and just having a look there, we've got Intigi and Shojai on that left-hand side, a little bit of a new partnership, usually Takano there. He switched over to the right-hand side for this one, and, you know, that's going forward for Victoria, Shojai and Intigi. That could be an interesting combo.
Shambusho here is putting some moves on Hall. Hall does shoulder him off, and it will be a goal kick. Shambusho moving over to the right here with Intigny on the left, Davidson holding up the middle. This looks like a very specific deployment here, trying to put Intigny up against Pritchard. The only problem there is that both Pritchard and Keane look up to the task, so Shambusho and Intigny aren't going to be able to just run by cleanly. They will have stern challenges here in the fullback position. Up the middle, go the Foothills, over the top, looking for Akio there. Norgrove is at the edge of his area. Alert goalkeeping, sweeping that up. Thought about rolling out quickly, now finally does. Goes to Guillermo. Connor Guillermo. Top of his area to Banton. Josh Banton wearing the armband today. Over the top he goes, looking for the run of Davidson. Davidson up against Hall. Hall will shoulder off Davidson, but it stays in play, and Davidson comes away with it, but he's conceded a foul in the process, according to the far side assistant. And in fairness, the AR was right there. So not the most difficult of calls to make, as Davidson had initially done well to stop the ball going up for a goal kick, but in the end, just concedes the free kick.
Yeah, the assistant referee in a wonderful position to give that. And yeah, like I think it's going to be a common theme is Bantam, Guillaume distributing that ball along over the top, looking for the 3 outlets that Victoria have right now. And I think they're going to have some success with it.
Meanwhile, uncharacteristically here of Ben Jackson, just thumps that directly into touch. So a bit of a gift here for the Highlanders as Shambusho on the throw. Takes one touch, tries to get around his man. He's going to need to do some work here. But that is good fullback work there by Ethan Keane. Banton nearly leaves it behind there, facing down Rendell and Akio. Norgrove switches out to Shojai, who does keep it in, says the AR, though that was right on the line. Pritchard. Back to Jamoon. Jackson will take his time here. And we will take just a brief moment to thank all of you who are commenting on this match on YouTube. A lot of predictions here favoring a Foothills win. 2-1. Seems to be a common scoreline here. Well, we'll just have to see about that.
Do you have any predictions for this one? Do you dare do this?
Well, off the mic yesterday, I was bold enough to try and say 2-2. And
yes,
my optimism was showing there, definitely. I would like to see that scoreline again. I don't think we'll see it. 2-1 does feel like a fair scoreline, though obviously I would like to see that be in the Highlanders' favor, not the Foothills' favor. Though I will try and keep my objective hat on and not go to the Homer commentator cap too quickly. Nice ball through the middle here. Flag stays down. Now it does come up. Digny just a little bit too quick to jump onto that. Jackson, though, was there alertly, and the ball was a touch heavy. But they do seem to have found a small seam here. The question is, can the Highlanders hit it again? Yeah,
Adib there with a nice little ball through the middle, just slightly offside, but you know, that's a nice creative idea. That matchup is it's going to be an interesting one as tries to get around Adib again, and he's there.
Coach Eendorf will be happy with that. It's always good to see that choice of player work out for you. And now here comes Davidson. Out to Shambusho, and Tigney makes his run. Takano trying to overlap, chips forward for Davidson. Davidson, first time cross. Oh, sliding in and just missing there was Tigney. That's one of the few times we've seen the Foothills backline comprehensively beaten on the rush. And Tigney just not able to slide in and tap that past Jackson.
Davidson does so well to make that run, to stay on side and to cut that ball back with power. For me, Ntigi did not make the right run there. He should have seen his Davidson was slightly on the run. That ball was only going to come in one place if he could get anything of any good quality on it. And he did. He put it in such a good place, and it should have been a tap in for 1-0. But that moment's hesitation is,
And that's a little bit of a miscue there. Can they capitalize? Takano there was just trying to play it on the deck. Perhaps, maybe, this is one of the few times I say this, perhaps he should have gone for gusto and tried the audacious chip. Jackson was well off his line there. Shambusho nearly stripped him clean. Meanwhile, Vakunle leaves Ntigi on the grass and keeps going. Pritchard puts in the cross, whips. That's a nice swinging ball. Unfortunately, a little too much oomph on it. And it's over and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Jackson there really lollygagging on the play.
We'll take another quick look at this here, Simon.
So the cross is fantastic. It needs to. He should be 2 yards ahead of that. He should be tapping it in, but it's a very promising play. Davidson, he had such a trouble time getting into the game on Friday evening, but we've already seen him involved a couple of times already.
Need to balance the scales, Daniel Davidson. Guillermo goes over the top. Chamoun is there, but Shambusho gets a touch as well. But they say it comes off of Chamoun last. Some consternation there from the Foothills. The referee is unmoved. Young. Guillermo. Banton. It's Akio. Keeps an eye on him. Banton. Adib. Inside to Takano. Return ball. Mackenzie Cole. Guillermo. Over the top. It'll fall in front of Pritchard, and Tigney tries to strip him. And advantage played here. And Tigney into the area, puts it low for Shambusho. Back to Young, who couldn't get a shot off. Was he looking for the final pass there, perhaps? Either way, a dangerous attack on the advantage given.
Yeah, here's that cutback earlier. It's such a good ball in. He's just unfortunately can't get there. But again, you know, just then, really, really good opportunity. Victoria in the box. Couple of opportunities to strike it, but a pass was chosen instead. But the fact that Victoria getting in that position is really positive. I'm convinced that there's this win factor that's contributing to Victoria being able to press here is really helping them right now, and I really hope they can make that pay with a goal in this first 45.
The literal and figurative wind at their backs. That will go out for a throw in favor of the Highlanders. I will say on that play previously, I'm somewhat surprised that the foul was given in favor of Antigone, not against him. I thought for sure he'd hauled down Pritchard, but the referee had seen, it looked like Pritchard come around as he was going down and tried to foul Antigone, and referee saw that and played the advantage, which is why I'm glad calls are made by the people on the pitch and not those about 200 feet up in the air.
Yeah, well, we saw the side of where we saw Antigone getting a piece of his shirt there, so I think we had the better view. The referee had his whistle in his mouth, played the advantage, but, you know, here come Calgary.
Campanelli now. Chambusho, that's a bit of a reckless challenge there from Chambusho, and he will go into the book right away. No hesitation from the referee there. 18th minute, Victory Chambusho is shown a yellow. Went to ground a little bit too easily there.
Yeah, I mean, he's tracking back. He does really well to get in the position. He doesn't necessarily have to slide here. Just putting yourself in the mixer. If he goes to ground too easy, he thinks he can clip the ball. Yellow card's really harsh considering it's the first tackle of the match. But the cards came out very quickly and consistently on Friday as well.
So the tenor of this game has been set as the wall is paced off here by the referee. 5 Highlanders in the wall. One man standing over this free kick.
This is such a perfect distance to get a strike on goal.
Into the wall. Hayfield's strike is blocked. And Chamoun will chase this down. Wall does its job there. It's one of the few things that I am glad of for having never been able to be athletically capable enough to play soccer, is never having to stand in a wall. I can only imagine how horrifying an experience that must be.
Yeah, you're never too sure what you want to cover, upstairs or downstairs. You're never too sure.
You lose either way, really.
Yeah.
Antigne's juked out of his cleats there. Hayfield wasn't ready to give that away. Hall on the far side. Banton just knocks that back to Norgrove. It's a much more assured Highlander side, and a lot of that, Simon, comes from just not making the same mistakes they did on Friday.
Yeah, it's really important that stay focused. Doing the simple things right, you know, running off the ball, getting your first touch solid, making the pass that's clear and present. And then as the game continues, that's when you're trying to get the ball to your influential players. A little pass like this, a little flick, and...
Oh, Chambusho, he heard the run of Takano. That was the right idea to try and lay it off, but that is some stern defending there. I believe that was Hall was in there. Might have been Campanelli, but regardless, that was a bright play on both sides there. And the Victoria attack is thwarted yet again as Jackson out to Hall.
Now you can see Davidson and Antigone, they've got having a little switch in positions at the moment. It's clearly something they've been able to work on, that being able to fluidly transfer from side to side, keeping an eye on where each others are. I'm a big fan of allowing your quicker, more influential players to have a bit more of a free roll.
Forward ball here, Akio in a foot race with Banton, but he will not get there ahead of Norgrove. Talking about switching sides here, with Fakunle on our right. Peppel has now drifted into the middle, and Akio has gone out left. Peppel's name, I think this is the first time I've said his name all afternoon. He has been having a rough time getting past Adib. As Hayfield has knocked off the ball there. Low ball for Antigone now on the counter. Here comes Hayfield. Takano. Deflected. It will be out for a corner. Highlanders' first corner of the afternoon.
Yep, nice patient play coming forward. It's important to give the keeper something to do, so to corner out there, not hesitating, getting the ball on his right foot, having a strike, wins a corner. And Shojai's going to whip this one in, and it can be tricky for for Jackson in between the sticks, as the wind's going to probably pull this one in. Banton's not forward for this one. Guillaume's gone up.
It does whip in low, and that is just thumped back with authority by Marcus Campanelli. Falls to Accio. Mackenzie Cole is there. Down goes Accio. Ball stays in play. Cole does try to come with it. Now he does win the foul.
Oh, would have loved the advantage there, but the referee just quick to use the whistle.
Cole coming off the better of that. Takano not liking what he sees, goes back to Banton. Adib. Shambusho. Takano. Right-footed delivery, back post is going to go over the head of Intigny and out.
Really nice idea there. He little step over the ball, opens up onto his favoured left, and he just gets the chip to the back post slightly wrong. But that's exactly what you want to see Takano doing. You want to see him on the ball one-on-one in that position and trying to make something happen.
It's also a nice matchup if you're Shun Takano, as Ethan Keane was nowhere to be seen on that play, and instead it was Drake Rendell coming back to cover for him. Jackson now with the goal kick, looking for Peppel. Does chest it down. Second ball won by the Highlanders, though Cole just gives it away. And now Keane back to Hall. Shambusho on him. Shambusho. Jackson is there first. Back to midfield. Banton. Hayfield. Keane. Rendell. Over comes Adib. Campanelli. Looking for Accio. Does get through, but Accio's run was just a hair too far offside. Thought Accio actually had the shoulder there, but the AR right on the line there. Good line of sight. As Accio didn't quite stay level with the defender.
Yep, decent ball. Just a fraction early with a run.
Shojai.
Great first touch.
Controlling the ball. How many times has Coach Niendorf talked to us about this, Simon? The importance of just control the ball and everything flows from there.
Absolutely.
Connor Guillerme. Davidson. Hayfield over him, plays in Adib. Young has options here. Takano's one of them. Adib. Past Rendell for Takano, up against Keane. Little back heel looking for the run of, looked like Adib had come far forward. That will be cleared, only as far as Shojai. A little bit of pressure here from the Highlanders as Cole gets a boot to it. Adib gives it back. Cole for Shojai. Still options forward here. So now some showing short, one of those being Davidson. Over to Young. Start to stretch the field a little bit more to the Highlanders. Adib. Takano. Takano with a burst of speed. Puts in the cross. Shambusho's waiting for it, but so is Hall, who calmly heads that clear. Adib now puts in his own cross. There's Hall again. Former Highlander showing up his old team there. Solid defensive work. Adib scampers back to help out Young.
Adib's been fantastic so far in this matchup on that right-hand side, given his first start, I believe, on at right back. Is he a natural defender? I'm not too sure.
He is, and Takano on the run here. Great save by Jackson. Davidson's follow-up. What a block by Shamoon! Ben Jackson bailed out by Yassine Chamoun. And Davidson perhaps shaking his head a little. Should he put a little more mustard on that one?
Well, great defending as 2-3 Calgary defenders put the body on the line once they see the keeper was compromised. We'll probably see a replay of that one soon, but another promising attack from Victoria.
Adib is, to answer your earlier question there, Simon, he is more of a modern wing-back type player. He is a fullback, but certainly a more aggressive, almost full winger type. So he is being well deployed here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's won every single tackle he's been involved in. Really strong performance to start with.
Let's take a look at these. So first up, this is Takano.
Great save here. pops out to Davidson. He's just trying to hit it hard and low on the target, but there's a couple of defenders there. This one gets ripped out. Yeah. It's a really nice ball out there. The take from Takano is sensational. I think he could have done a little bit better maybe with a shot there, maybe lifting it over the keeper, but full credit to Calgary.
And credit where credit is due. I credited Chamoun with the block there. It was actually Hall once again, Gordon Hall, as Norgrove scoops up that shot from Peppel. It was Hall who actually made the diving block. Chamoun made the final clearance. So as you correctly noted, Simon, a real team effort there from the Foothills defense. As this long ball falls to Hall, who is already in the more active of the Foothills back line. Adib takes the throw. Falls to Davidson.
Oof.
But he's given that back pass away cheaply. And Akio now. Willie Akio. Low ball for Kunle. Kunle brings down Shojai.
That's just for the push on Shojai, I think, there.
Yeah, surely that's not going to be a penalty called on Norgrove, and it is not. Bit of a mistake on the back pass here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's up to there, but Davidson just pinging it right into the path of Calgary. And
there's a little shove.
A little nudge.
Yeah, there's nothing in that for me from Norgrove.
No, and for Kunle going in there trying to win the ball, it's just a good coming together.
Chamoun that time clearing it. And Tigny on the same side as Shambusho now. They'll play the 1-2. They were playing little 1-2 drills in warm-up here. For the game, they looked energetic and ready to go. We'll see if they can find that form as this match progresses. But Peppel now, lovely ball from Peppel. And a last-ditch tackle from Banton is right on the money. As it was nearly Arabin Peppel off to the races. Joshua big time Banton comes up there.
Yeah, it's a great challenge. Had to get it perfectly right because Peppel's just kind of effortlessly sprung forward from a non-dangerous position into the, just stretching into the Victoria penalty box. And if not for a great tackle there, it's he's got a one-on-one opportunity.
Pritchard's ball low. It does run out. Kunle's a little bit disappointed with that. For the right idea from Pritchard to spring the current top goal scorer.
Yeah, it's so frustrating for these guys when they mess up a 10-yard pass because they do have such talent, but mistakes happen out there. Norgrove
goes for a dicey run there, but got away with it. Takano's first time ball, though, is not in the right direction as Rendell comes away with it. Not once, but twice does Rendell. Puts in the low cross, and that'll be out for a corner.
First real pressings for Calgary. Some really great work on that left-hand side to keep the ball alive, keep the attack alive as they get their first corner, I believe.
Yes, that should be their first corner of the afternoon, and it looks like it'll be Hayfield overtake it. They've had a couple of free kicks. One at least. Hayfield standing over this. Bodies are all forward. High to the back post. And that's headed down and out. And the foul is conceded by a high leaping. I believe that was Chamoun there.
Yep, great position by Guillaume.
Norgrove takes quickly as the defenders run back, but that is a little too ambitious from Norgrove. You could see the idea as Antigone was standing there up against, it looked like Hall. You need to keep those in play.
Yeah, I think the wind probably made that pass a lot more difficult than it was.
Campanelli for Keane. Back to Campanelli. Davidson nearly got a toe on that. Chamoun. He switched sides with Hall now. Switching sides perhaps to match the Victoria attack. A little nudge there on Fakunle and a jersey tug there from Antigone that goes undetected. Hall. Back to Chamoun. Jackson's come way up to help him provide support. Backs off now is Keane. Takano. Can't get there. Peppel. Goes out of bounds to get past Adib, but there's a foul conceded in the process. Or no, it was a off the toe of Takano, I think, out for a throw.
Yeah, I think he's given a free kick there.
Yeah, that was the foul, yeah.
But again, like the referee just so quick to blow the whistle. Good for Victoria there because Calgary had a great opportunity to attack on the advantage. Pritchard.
So all the way back to Jackson. Shamoon letting that run. Hall. Moves back to his left side here. Campanelli forced back. Hayfield gives that away. Antigny for Davidson. Around the corner. Davidson left-footed strike. Doesn't hit the target. Davidson will have wanted done much better with that. At that distance, you have to hit the target.
Yeah, you're right there. Whether it's across the keeper or he's trying to get into that top left corner, but great play from Antigny. I thought he was going to delay that run, shift onto his right foot. He was in such a similar position as he scored his goal from on Friday, but elected to play in his strike partner Davidson, and unfortunately couldn't quite get the shot right. As there's a game of mistakes and giveaways right now is what's really kind of opening up both sets of defenses.
Jackson goes long. 3 targets there. One of those Campanelli. He heads it only as far as Banton. Rendell on the follow-up. Over the top. Looking for Kunle or Peppel. Low ball. Stretch and grab. On the doorstep was Tova Fakunle. And Norgrove had to be alert there. Fingertip grab or else that's a tap in for 1-0.
Yeah, really great anticipation from the keeper. That was only the only real position the ball could have come into the box. Great feet out there, right by the touch line, to get that attack on its feet.
Adib finds Chambusho, shakes off Hall. These swarming in the closing of a 3-man Foothills net retrieves the ball. And now it's Akio and Peppel trying to get forward, but neither will get past Mackenzie Cole and Sean Young. Banton now. So at the 33rd minute, Highlanders 0, Foothills 0. This is the second of 2 matches this weekend between Foothills and Highlanders. As it stands right now in the division, Lane United, having won in their previous match, now have moved past the Highlanders, though Highlanders still have games in hand. So a win here would bring them level once again with their foes from Oregon. Meanwhile, Foothills remain atop the division. And away goes Chambusho. Takano up against Keene. Takano charging in, low ball. Tigney steps in, crosses, headed clear by Pritchard. Young is there though, and he'll head it right back into the mix, but only as far as Campanelli, who will clear. Back comes Akio. Battle there with Guillermo, who's moved way up from his backline position. And seeing this, so there goes Pritchard. And now he gets the ball. Fakunle now watched by Davidson. Pritchard watched by Shojai. In comes Cole. He beats the 3-man press. Lovely ball from Pritchard. Hayfield to Campanelli.
Just going to talk about how well Pritchard's positioned himself for those deep crosses by Victoria and nodded a couple away, and he's clearly got the skills to pass the ball in tight situations as he did there for Calgary.
Takano and Adib working over Peppel here. And it does indeed go the way of the Highlanders. Peppel's a little bit mystified by that one. And Adib will set this up. So the Adib-Peppel matchup is going far better, I think we can say, than the Peppel-Colley match of Friday.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a physical battle out there, and that was just a big mismatch that we could see right from the beginning of that match. And before Adib came into the match, it was kind of, I think they're maybe 2 or 3 down already. But so far, Adib and the rest of the back line, to be fair, for Victoria have looked strong, they've looked solid.
Speaking of physicality there, Rendell with the foul in that earlier sequence. Norgrove is now out for this free kick as multiple Highlanders passed up the opportunity to hit this one. And now Norgrove goes long. Well taken. Flicked on by Davidson. Chambusho chests it down. Pops it up. Campanelli is there, but so is Cole, matching number 8s. Adib knocks that off of Campanelli, out for a throw. And where does he go from here? He goes forward. Chambusho up against Hayfield. Gets it over to Cole. Antigny makes his turn. Shojai is calling for it. Antigny keeps it. There's the pass for Shojai. Left-footed strike over the bar. Iliad Shojai got what he wanted. He got that lovely pass, but could not hit the target.
Yeah, that is exactly where we want to see Ntigi getting the ball, picking it up, driving at the Calgary backline, because he's just so much quicker than them, so they have to back off, and it created a great opportunity for Shojai. I think the pass came just slightly too late. Very difficult to find his feet to get the technique for that left-footed hit. He knows he could do better than that. But that's where I want to see Shojai. I want to see him up that left-hand side attacking.
Adib and Rendell butt shoulders. As we'll take another look at that chance here through the magic of replay.
Great spin, and he's just driving forward. The touches are really nice, and just there he should have played it, and there it is. And it's just a tricky one to, not quite sure where he's trying to put the ball there. Hard and low. Close your eyes if you have to. It could go anywhere.
Long throw here. Knocked down and out for another long throw. Takano will get another chance at it. Instead, leave it for the fullback, Adib. Ali Adib looking for Davidson. Instead, it'll be Keane getting there, but he'll knock it out for another throw. So one way or another, grinding their way upfield. Now Adib will get a chance to put it on the deck. Finds Intigny in the area. Back to Adib. Intigny keeps it in. Battling through a couple of sets of legs there. Couldn't do much with it. Adib chests it down. Back to Takano, but Takano in his haste knocks it all the way to Akio. And that is a foul conceded by Takano.
No, I think it's just throw. I think it was a perfectly timed tackle. I'm not sure.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right there. I've had visions of the foul that got Shimbusho his yellow earlier, but no, Takano has played that exactly correctly. Adib heads it back out.
And another great attack there from Victoria's Ntigi, driving through. Fair play to him. He definitely could have gone to ground at some point there, but stayed on his feet, tried to get the cross in. And it's comparing this to Friday, it's a completely different ball game right now, and I've been very, very happy with Victoria so far.
Referee's finished having his chat there on the sideline, and Campanelli will retrieve the throw in and go back to Hall. There's already some calls on YouTube for people who agree with you, Simon, that they want Intigny to take that shot. I have to imagine that that is coming sooner than later. You can't imagine Gauthier Intigny goes a full 90 minutes without at least having an attempt of his own. As Young beats Fakunle to that, and Akio will watch Guillermo, or Banton, excuse me. Takano gets a touch, but not enough, and Hall will let that go out for a throw. Campanelli in close quarters. Mackenzie Cole. Ball comes off of him, and Keane will get another throw. Banton heads that back up. And Cole takes 2 steps and gets it over to Davidson. Guillermo now. As the Highlanders stretch the field, moving over to their left. Intigny stops. Guillermo. He has 6 options forward and Young in midfield. Forward is where he goes, only as far as Jamoon. Guillermo will win that right back. Campanelli, though, does very well to get there first, but Guillermo has charged in a little too harshly for the referee's liking. And he will get either a talking to or a yellow, and it's going to be a yellow for Connor Guillermo. As that was a bit of a high boot there from the defender, and he is duly punished.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot to get in the book in this game, but I think it's probably the right decision there. A little bit of a reckless lunge to try and block the ball and caught the Calgary player. It's a couple of yellow cards already for Victoria. I'm pretty sure they got 3 or 4 on Friday. Very competitive game. Wow, wide open.
It is Akio wide open on the right, but that is given away uncharacteristically, and Cole goes over the top. Shimbusho one-on-one here with Hall. Hall will knock it out for a throw. That is some good defending there from Hall. Just get it away from Shimbusho before he burns you for pace.
Absolutely. Great idea to get the ball upfield, creating that one-on-one for such a speedy, quick player. And Hall anticipated very well.
Does manage to beat the 1-on-3 in an unorthodox manner. Keeps possession, though, and that's what matters. Guillermo for Davidson, flicks it down, looking for the run of Shimbusho. That's nowhere near him, but Jackson has to come out as there was a moment of hesitation between Hall and Shamoon.
Yeah, that's a decent flick by Davidson. Just Shimbusho just not on the same wavelength for that one. Probably the 60-yard sprint he had to do a few minutes ago probably had something to do with that.
Adib up against Campanelli. He'll knock that forward, and it will not stay in play. Out for a throw it goes.
Adib just been a boss on that right-hand side, not taking any risks, not giving any freedom on that side for Calgary to do anything. And as we've seen, they've not really had a whole lot of success over that side of the pitch.
Final few minutes of the half. Still 0-0. Guillermo goes to ground and is beaten with a little hop. In comes Fakunle. First time shot is wide.
The shooting boots today, boys, are not on because we've not had a whole lot of attempts on target. We've seen some wide, we've seen some over. That was a decent opportunity. Striding forward, Calgary.
And Fakunle had space, and I believe he had more time than he thought he had as well.
It's a beautiful little layoff. He just needs to get his head down and just get to it all wrong.
After leaving Guillermo in the dust, after Guillermo got that sliding tackle all wrong.
And just being booked a minute ago.
It's brave on many counts. Shimbusho tries to strip Shamoon. Thinks that he got the throw in. The referee disagrees. I believe that's the Saanich Fusion providing the ball kids today as they calmly hand off the ball to Pritchard. Guillermo's header flicked over by Cole. Hayfield sends it right back in. Guillermo hooks it up and over. Tigny backs into Pritchard. And that will be knocked out for a throw by Hayfield. And Shojai. You have to love the personal touch with the hand delivery of the ball from the ball kids. No mere toss here. It's the little touches that make the service work. Adib wide open on the right-hand side here. Escapes Rendell. Takano has Campanelli breathing down his neck. Young bullies his way through. Goes low. Looking for Adib there who'd cut inside, but no joy. And up comes Banton to beat Akio to that one. Banton has moved way up here, the center back. Charging his way through, gets a boot in. It'll be out for a throw, so in the end he'll have time to get back and get into position.
Bulldozing his way to the ball, trying to advance Victoria forward, not allowing an easy touch from the Calgary strikers to play.
Got a minute left here in the first half in regular time. Low ball here for Pritchard. Blocked by Intigny, who does well to come back on defense, and he'll now try to get around his man, and will. Intigny off to the races. Gauthier Intigny has Shimbusho with him, just one touch too many, but he will come back and he will win the free kick here.
Card.
And that will be a card shown to Hayfield. Stan Hayfield. I mean, really, what other choice did he have there? He had to do something aggressive, or else Intigny might have just gone 100 more yards. Why not?
Yeah, arguably the quickest player on the pitch running at your defence as well. Ripped through the midfield. Incredible play. And, yeah, a little nibble to bring him back. And it's a professional foul.
I thought professional fouls were red. I guess they can be both, can't they? Shojai's cross. Norgrove will catch the second header there. But the tactical was the yellow. The professional was the straight red.
Yeah, you're right. I think it also comes down to who's refereeing down there.
Yes.
If I wouldn't even given a yellow card for that one, but, you know, that's why we're up here.
Probably the best place for us, I would say, all things considered. 2 minutes indicated here by the fourth official to close out this first half. Guillermo to Banton. They'll be happy with their performance on the whole, I would say. Shojai. Intigny. Cole. Young.
Hit it.
Oh, Takano. He's offside. Hits the bar, though, which still technically isn't hitting the target, but at least he's closer, is Shun Takano.
Yeah, really nice little move there. I thought the opportunity to strike one was there. Decided to go out wide to kind of just strain an offside position, and the attack falls to nothing.
Jackson will watch his players get into position here. And the referee decides that will be a free kick, a little bit too aggressive in the defending there. So a chance perhaps for Calgary Foothills to start something or grab something, late.
Yeah, you'll see this ball as it comes in, if it comes in high, how it's going to get held up by the wind, and it's very difficult for the attackers or the strikers to advance a ball that's just kind of like holding up there. So wants to really get this in with some power and try and ping it in low. Something like that.
Yeah, just like that, Norgrove is underneath it, but too far underneath it, actually misjudges it, and then Young attempts to clear it directly off the back of his own defender. And in fact, the Foothills are adamant that is what happened, but the AR has seen something else and decided no. And that will be the first half. That's an interesting decision to end the half.
Yeah, I think the referee and the AR got that one wrong. It's a corner ball. As you can see, no Victoria Highlanders were calling for it, and there were 5 Calgary players.
And we're not done here. Fakunle is going to get a yellow for his dissent there, as the AR was quick to defend himself to the referee. So Fakunle goes into the book to end this first half. It's a 0-0 first half after 45 minutes, Simon. 2 different teams showed up for this match than showed up on Friday, and it's quite a different affair out there.
Absolutely. Victoria have done very well so far. They've got their tactics right. They've definitely focused on not trying to offer out too many mistakes, but the second half should be an interesting one. I don't know if the wind's going to play a factor, but I'm excited for it.
Victoria Highlanders 0, Calgary Foothills 0. Second half will be up after the break.
Hey, I'm Jeff, member 44091. Peninsula Co-op is committed to giving back to our local communities. Last year, over $500,000 was given back to 300 initiatives, like education, and sports, and even healthcare. So every time you fill up your vehicle, your home heating oil, or your grocery cart, you're choosing to support Peninsula Co-op's commitment to the community.
Join today!
Peninsula Co-op, moving ahead by giving back.
So many times there was a man who met a girl and took her hand. He told her, never will I leave you, my love. She said, darling, I've been in and out so many doors, and I've always tried to keep my head with all the men I've known before. Left me there again, feeling like a stranger to my happiness. I'm feeling like a stranger to my happiness.
Why do we, as humans, choose to travel? We do it because we love to. because we have to. Or maybe it's because we need to. Because we haven't quite figured out what else to do or be. Because someone told us it wouldn't be smart to, and we knew better. Because we save every last penny to, and some of us work our whole lives to. We can't tell you why you wanderlust or daydream or yearn to run away, but you can tell us. You can tell us why you want to travel. Because isn't that where it all starts? Isn't that where the story begins? You see, we're here for the story, for your story, because we're human too.
Hey, I'm Jeff, Peninsula Co-op number 44091. I just love coming here and earning a rebate. And I love the people who work here, like Colleen. They're so lucky. They get flexible hours, an award-winning culture, tuition assistance, profit sharing, and bonuses. I could use a bonus. They offer career growth, a pension plan, and great bosses.
Hey Jeff, you should apply. We're hiring.
I am here a lot. Peninsula Co-op. Join the team today. Hey, I'm Jeff, member.
Welcome back to Centennial Stadium at the University of Victoria. Roturo and Simon Brazier here with you for the second half of this USL League 2 tilt between the hometown Victoria Highlanders and the visiting Calgary Foothills. 0-0 after 45 minutes, though certainly not for a lack of trying on either side. That said, Simon, it is a night and day difference. The Victoria we saw on Friday and the Victoria we are seeing this afternoon.
Absolutely. Yeah, the game was at half-time on Friday. The game was pretty much done and dusted. But Victoria, they've got their tactics a little bit better today. They've switched up a little bit, and it's without question shown. A lot of players who didn't get really involved on Friday, really involved now, and there's been 6 opportunities, 6 shots between both teams. Nothing really of any great quality when it comes to the final strike, but that won't last for long, that's for sure. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to get that real great first opportunity, and can they take it.
You saw there, striker hangs out with the kids down on the track, sporting his brand new birthday kilt. You saw there walking out to the field initially. You've seen Jamoon handing some paper over. There is a Calgary player standing at the sideline. There may be a halftime sub here for the Foothills. Just have to wait and see who that is, if that substitution goes through. Now, you'd mentioned the wind earlier there, Simon. Take a look at it rippling the Lakeside Boys flag and the maple leaf there. It's picked up again here at Centennial, the wind tunnel that it is.
Yeah, you might not see it from looking just at the pitch, but without question, it's a factor, and it just makes when you're running into the wind, it just makes it a lot more difficult to get out of your half and really press. But when it's at your back, it's super easy to push team forward, and I think that was a big factor in why Victoria had a very decent half there. They were able to get the ball up into the final third a lot easier, but it's important that they mix up their play. If they're playing into the wind, they've got to keep the ball a lot lower. The strikers have got to come and collect the ball, play it back, and it's going to have to be a lot more the ball's going to have to be on the deck a lot more than the first half, where a lot of those long balls came in for both sides.
2 substitutes now ready here for Foothills. One of them is number 7, Corey Bent, so there will be some attacking verve brought in for this Foothills side as they look to shake things up a little bit. They also have one other sub standing there. I think that might be Daniel Harrison, though we will check here in just a moment as the slips are being handed over to the 4th official. Meanwhile, Fakunle has a resumption of chat with the referee. I'm sure he's still slightly concerned about how that corner kick was not given at the end of the first half.
I think they're still talking about that.
I would not be surprised if Fakunle is trying to get himself in the referee's ear for that. It would not surprise me in the slightest. Meanwhile, Peppel and the rest of the attack core wait for the ball. Fakunle and the referee continue their pleasantries. At least it's civil. There is that. I mean, he is on a yellow, so he needs to do everything he can to not get a second one, I would say. Yeah,
referees are human. They make mistakes. It's not an easy thing to do down there. And as a player, if it doesn't get given, there's just zero you can do, regardless of how much you talk or how much you were right. If it's been given, it's been given.
Meanwhile, that is Daniel Harrison coming in on the left-hand side here for Ethan Keane. So Keane's day is done. That's not really super surprising, considering he was starting to get lit up by the end there. Some of the runs from Takano were really starting to cause him grief. Meanwhile, Bent comes in, taking up a position on the far right-hand side here, and that's where the ball goes. But Shojai is there immediately to knock that back out.
Yeah, the majority of attacks for Victoria that were promising came from Takano on that right-hand side. Seen as probably an area of vulnerability for Calgary, and they've made a substitution to rectify it.
Goal kick coming up here for the Highlanders. Norgrove will take that. It looks like Rendell was the one who was taken out for Bent, so this is definitely an attack-minded substitution here for Foothills, taking off Rendell and bringing in Corey Bent. So they definitely want maximum points out of this. Can't blame them. Shambusho loses out to Campanelli there. And forward here on the hop goes Peppel. Skips past Young. Peppel, low shot right into the basket of Norgrove. Peppel will want to have done better with that. That was not troubling the keeper. Davidson, nice little flick here, tries to get past Pritchard, puts it low for Antigny, who turns. Shambusho. Cole. Adib. Antigny. Antigny does well there. Skips past Hall and gets the return. Can Shambusho get there? No, that's well defended by Pritchard as the Calgary defense collapses. All 4 defenders in the area, making life miserable there for Antigny and Shambusho. Now Akiel will flare this out to the right where Pritchard is waiting. 4 attackers streaming forward here. Bent is one of them. Up against Shojai. He tucks his hands behind his back protectively. Bent opts to go one-on-one. Does get a cross in and of sorts, but it's the kind that is not great. And it's over and out easily for a goal kick.
No, he shimmied and made the space for himself very, very well, but when it came to the quality of the cross, it was awful. Let's put it that way.
You're being kind with that, I would say.
Yeah, I'm not going to mix my words with that one. Sorry.
Norgrove goes up, and that is intercepted quickly. Aggressive fullback work there by Pritchard. And there, going to ground was Bent. Stern challenge there from Young, taken quickly, Peppel. Guillerme calmly defends that and takes it away. The short kick somewhat blunted there. And now Hall, who has switched boots at halftime, replacing the orange ones with the sleek yellow and black number. I have to assume these are the defend better in the second half boots that everybody keeps in their locker.
That's the second time this season you've noticed the boot change.
Not going to lie, it's how I tell some of these players apart. Young. Pritchard now on the throw. Campanelli touches it down for Bent. Waiting there was Cole. Young to Takano. It's been a bit mercurial so far. As Takano, that's a lovely ball over the top for a D, but getting there quicker was Tofa Fakunle. But that's a giveaway, and Jackson had to be sharp there, as Tofa Fakunle had come back to help and inadvertently made things slightly worse.
Yeah, I'm not sure how familiar he is with defending too much, but it's he did so well to get in the right position to defend, but then, you know, like really shorting his keeper out there with that one.
Takano now with the throw. Cole in the area, heads it over. Shambusho brings it down, 2 touches, can't get a shot. Out there to Young, finds Antigny. Gauthier Antigny has the Highlanders on the board!
The golden boy.
And he's right over to the bench to hug the coaching staff and the subs. Gauthier Antigny has repaid his manager's faith. He has the Highlanders up 1-0, and the pyro comes out from the supporters' end.
Really nice work goal. Shambusho does so well, keeps the ball in play for Victoria, a lot of strength. And this pass is fantastic. And the first touch is what makes the finish even possible, which is low, I'm pretty sure, through Jackson's legs, where he can't do anything about it. But a really nicely worked goal for Victoria, and they're 1 up. And this should open the game up really beautifully, because Calgary are not going to be happy going 1 down.
Peppel here. Up against now 2 Highlanders. Antigny now, does he keep this in? He does, and Antigny has a bit of space. Shambusho's ahead of him. Tracking back as Hayfield. Goes to the right. Davidson has joined the run. Davidson tried to lever Shambusho. Well defended here. Bodies everywhere. No whistle for any foul. And the Foothills have a little more time than they perhaps thought, but that is offside there, as both Akio and Peppel had strayed into an offside position.
Yeah, yep. Great call from the AR. We had perfect line of sight for that one. Really good call.
Young with the assist, Antigny with the goal.
Yeah, the assist is beautiful. I mean, it's the first time he could have taken the strike at goal, but he saw that Antigny was in a dangerous position, got the pass perfect, and just like Antigny's goal on Friday, the first touch is sensational to make it happen. And, you know, hard on a low shot. 4 in 3, I believe.
4 in 3 in his 5th on the season. putting him well in the lead on the team. There's a log jam for players on 2. Takano, nice takedown there. Step over. Left foot goes low. Is he looking for the run for Shambusho or trying something tricky with his left foot? Either way, it did not come off. And Ben Jackson will happily scoop that up.
Yeah, I think he got a little fortunate with that first touch because it looked amazing, but I'm not quite sure how much he knew about it. And then the drive forward was nice. Tried to disguise the shot with a little slip ball through to Shambusho, who wasn't quite ready for it. Maybe should have just taken the opportunity to strike at goal.
Harrison's ball there. Finds the chest of Akio. Campanelli. Over the top for Bent. Puts it low. This has a chance to get into Fakunle, but Hadib!
Look at that.
My goodness, Hadib. I mean, there's being cheeky, and then there's dummying yourself in your own penalty area to make a clearance. And the nice little cross to Antigone. You tackled. That was a perfect, well, I won't say perfect, but clutch tackle. Clutch tackle from Pritchard. As he stops that attack, does not concede the foul. And now Young. Perfect's a very high word to use. You have to be careful where you use it.
Yeah.
It was a good tackle from Pritchard.
Yeah, tails are up for Victoria right now. They've got the goal, and it's going to be interesting to see because Calgary are going to have to come out. You know, they like to keep the ball at the back there. They don't like to rush too much, so you know we don't see them really come forward and express themselves through the middle too often. But they're going to have to do it if they want to get something from this match.
Let's take another quick look at this cheeky little pass here, Simon. This is just, I mean, there's cheeky, and then Ali Adib. Do you think he's enjoying his start here as Bent brings in the cross?
Yeah, he does well. He knows where 11 is, and that's ridiculous.
Oh, Ali Adib stares down Toba Fakunle.
Yeah,
puts a little bit of class on it and sprints up the other way.
It's definitely helped me forget that volley a few weeks ago. That's for sure.
Yes, we need not talk about the most beautiful own golazo you'll ever see. We need not mention that ever again. Free kick going the way here of the Highlanders. They will walk forward and get in position for this one as Shojai. And the 54th minute is already perfectly keen. They just slow this down. Kill a few seconds here and there. Takano up against Harrison. Does get around him. Low for Davidson. And that was indeed a foul. The advantage was given initially, but nothing came of it.
Yeah, that's interesting for me. You know, Victoria have got possession there, and then
Young goes quickly, but that's called back as well. Didn't like where it was taken from.
Yeah, the referee stops the advantage and pulls it back, and it gives an opportunity for Calgary to get every single player back. And it's yeah, for me, if Victoria have got the ball in a half decent position, that is an advantage, and this just slows it down a bit.
Adib. Spanton stays back. Over the top it goes. Jackson claims, very confident claim there from Ben Jackson. He will lump it long. Akio is there, but so is Guillerme. Hayfield in a jousting match there with Davidson. Davidson's asking for a foul. Referee isn't interested. Meanwhile, Antigone goes low for Shambusho. Stern challenge there from Chamoun. Sliding in comes Colt. Falls in the end of the far right, and Campanelli plays it for Peppel. Young, though, will just happily watch that run out for a throw. We're starting to see a slight role reversal here, Simon. Now it's Calgary making these hopeful passes that don't go anywhere, and the crisp passing that we saw from Friday is starting to show some cracks.
Yeah, when you've got the wind with you, it's so easy to just continuously kind of knock that ball long, and you know, if you stop playing that ball short as well, it makes it easy for the defense because they know what's coming. And Bantam, Guillaume, Shojai, Adib back there, you know, they're big, strong players. We've got great anticipation for defending. They're going to be happy with that.
Cole right up the middle, goes low, finds Shambusho. Shambusho for Takano. First time ball for the far post. Clinical as you like. Shun Takano picks the back post, and it's 2-0.
Wow, just like that, it is 2-0. Victoria looking good, and another tidy little finish. It kind of just creeped in that far post.
Takano fires up the crowd, and they have every right to be. More pyro, more party, and Shambusho has another assist.
Yeah, he just does so well to keep his composure. I was wondering why he didn't open up with that left foot and take a strike into that far corner, but what do I know? He takes a little pass and it's a simple finish, and 2-0. It gives a little bit of insurance to Victoria. The pass here, incisive. Shambusho does so well to lay it into the path, and it's the easiest of finishes. Calgary had a similar chance like that in the first half, and it was a big swipe and it went nowhere near the target, but Takano there with some composure, and we talked about at half-time that the chances were there, but the finishing wasn't, and they've clearly been watching our feed, and that's what they've done.
Well, everyone should, really.
Yeah.
Bent here, looking low. Guillerme will chase this down and calmly knock it forward to Young. And Tigny skips around Campanelli, does keep it in. That's some good footwork by Gauthier Tigny, finds Shambusho, who is offside this time. Good step up by the Calgary line. Shambusho's assist there, that is, I think, his 4th of the season, which would put him in the lead for the team. So Tigny, your top goal scorer, Shambusho, top assister. That tracks with what we've seen on the pitch this season, Simon. Your big guns are getting it done on the score sheet.
Absolutely, and what I really love is that...
speaking of big guns, thumping drive there goes over the net.
Yeah, frustrated hit there. Absolutely. But yeah, assists and goals coming over the pitch. We've got different goal scorers coming in each week, which is really nice to see. And, you know, Shambusho being a striker, but, you know, being able to get in the position to hold the ball up and to lay it off for a teammate. That's where real talented players come into it, when they can provide as well as score goals.
The secondary assist, which I'm still not clear whether or not USL League 2 tracks, Mackenzie Cole played a bullet of a pass directly up the middle. It was something that Cole was asked to do here, filling into more of a, as is fitting the jersey on his back, a number 8 role here, and your 8 has to be able to make those kind of passes. Now Young with the interception. Shambusho immediately pressured by Hall, but following up here is Young. Young brought down, no call. Cleanly taken, says the referee. He was right there to make the call, or the not make the call, as the case might be. Kunle turns and gives that to Hayfield. Campanelli. Pritchard moves up on the right. That's where it goes. Bent is waiting there as well. Pritchard puts in the cross. Guillerme heads it clear.
Nice.
And now Takano has a bit of space here. He's got to go up against Harrison. And decides he'll just leave it for Davidson. And here comes Adib on the overlap. Ali Adib. Takano, Davidson, Cole, sprays it out to the left, and Tigny coming up late. And Tigny up against Pritchard, just drives into the area, nowhere to go though. Shambusho wins it back a little unfairly though, as Chamoun went for a tumble.
Really nice build up from Victoria, you know, little intricate passes, very composed. Kenzie Cole and Young in that middle of the park today have just been a significant difference to Friday night, been able to break play up and make smart passes, and it's been pivotal for Victoria's 2-0 lead right now.
Low ball here for Peppel, right into Norgrove. Well, you can say this about Calgary. They have tested Norgrove, just not with stern tests like we saw on Friday. A lot of those are going straight at the Victoria keeper. Yeah,
they were absolutely clinical on Friday night, that's for sure. But you know, most of their opportunities have either been off target or straight down the throat for. Oof.
Meanwhile, Campanelli initially won the ball, then goes in late there on Shojai, and the referee is not impressed by this in the slightest, and that will be a yellow card shown.
Yeah, late. He'd already given the free kick for Calgary, but the play goes on. Shojai takes a hit for his troubles, and rightly so. A yellow card given. Probably a very frustrated Calgary team right now, as they've had opportunities, but they've not been able to make them pay dividends. And you know, we're an hour in, and they're 2-0 down right now. And after Friday night, that's probably not a very familiar position for them to be in.
Certainly not one they want to be in here, as they attempt to keep their 1-point lead on Lane United for the top of the table. And Hayfield will stand over this. Plenty of bodies to choose from. Ambitious little sort of half bike there coming in from, is that Hall? Might have been. Yeah, it was Hall, actually. Unfortunately, not able to make solid contact with it, and in the end, Norgrove does claim. Goes out to the right. Knocked down by Davidson off of Fakunle. Harrison to Hayfield. And now Chamoun. Campanelli. Bent cuts inside. Finds Hayfield. Blocked there by Cole, who come back to help.
In the 61st minute to Foothills FC number 8.
And
Marcus
down there, is that
Campanelli.
Bent who is on the ground? Play continues. And Chamoun now.
Probably going to kick it out of play.
And that will be where it goes as it rolls over. Pritchard will knock that out into touch so Bent can be looked at least, or at least collect himself.
Yeah, as Antigone went to block that ball, I think he's caught Corey Bent. That's what Corey's going to be calling for. Could hear the yell from here. You see, maybe see a replay of that one, but he's up on his feet. He's moving okay.
He is moving, which is always a good sign. So Highlanders will throw this back in as the substitutes are doing their warm-up out on the far side there. Interesting to see who both coaches decide might be able to step into this match. Of course, the two halftime subs for Foothills may not have panned out exactly as they want, though I don't know that you can fault Harrison on either of those goals necessarily. Campanelli, certainly not Bent either. Here is Bent. Puts in the right foot. Guillerme heads it. Akio's there as well. Shouts for handball. Referee isn't interested in the slightest. Waved it off immediately. Corner here for Foothills, who now plead with the referee. How is that not a handball? And Fakunle is backing his teammates off, saying, don't risk it.
Yeah.
We'll take a look here on the replay.
When he goes to try and header this one again, I think a strike of some sorts comes in and it just bounces and comes up.
Off the ground. I don't know that you can call that.
Tricky one to give. Not clear cut. Awful corner coming in there. Beautiful. Victoria will absolutely love that. And yeah, we're talking about substitutes. You know, what do you do for Victoria right now? You know, everything's going really well. It's probably going to come down to tired legs rather than anything other than that. You know, Mackenzie Cole, I think it might have been one of his first starts coming in here. It's a long 65 minutes he's put in. Adib again on the right-hand side, so maybe one of those guys is looking to maybe bring some fresh legs in as somebody is preparing to come on over there.
Yes, indeed. Campanelli still pleading his case here, and there is the substitution. It looks like it will be Mackenzie Cole's day done, and Jack Hill is prepared to enter this match for Victoria.
Yeah, great substitute. Mackenzie Cole's played so well today. Very, very involved in that second goal for Victoria. Great shift, and has worked really well with Young in that middle of that park, and it's going to be like for like. He's going to work hard coming in and getting on the ball and being super. You know, as we've got 25 minutes left. Calgary can score goals very, very quickly. They've got a lot of talent, so Victoria cannot stop pressing and can't stop working.
Antigone does well with the second effort to get there. Here comes Fakunle, though. And Adib faces down Fakunle, who does very well on the high press. Now he's on the run with Akio. Adib tracks back. Bumps shoulders not once, not twice. And a little sliding tackle there. Clean, says the referee. Fakunle is somewhat displeased. And it's a throw for Foothills. It's Campanelli to Fakunle, who gets the left footer in. Norgrove claims.
Great claim, yeah.
Norgrove will wait as much as he can. As Akio watches on. Pritchard intercepts that. Headed down. Peppel up against Young. Comes away with it, does Peppel. Striding forward. Keeps his feet, but only as far as the advantage made sense. The referee does call that back in the end.
Yeah, one of the original tackles, I think, from Sean Young there. It's quite a ways out. Corey Bent immediately wanted to get his hands on the ball to put this one down for a strike at goal.
Instead, the referee will pace off the wall here. It's another 5-man wall for the Highlanders. Antigone stays forward, just past or just outside the midfield circle. Now he comes back. Guessing he got the shout from the coach saying, "We're up 2-0. You'd better defend this."
Everybody back. Yeah, it's going to be nothing but a shot on goal here from Corey Bent. Probably looking to again that top right corner.
Oh, he was looking for it. You were right. That's where he was looking, but just could not hit the target. And instead, it will be a goal kick for Norgrove.
Yep, good effort, lovely technique. Very difficult to get that up and down with power.
We haven't seen that much this season, and when we do see it, it's a goal of the week candidate like Josh Walters way back about a month ago.
Yeah, what a beauty that was.
Hill trying to get involved in this match now, against Campanelli. Instead, it's Antigone trying to get ahead of Chamoun. No, he's conceded the foul there. Clipped the ankles. Referee didn't like it. I'm guessing Chamoun wasn't a big fan either.
Yeah, Calgary are not too familiar with their back line being pressed and not having the time to pass it around the back like they.
Meanwhile, the wind is really picking up here. Some of the ad hoardings on the far side of the pitch are going for a blow in the breeze here. I don't know if you can see that at the top left corner of your screen, but the far ad hoardings have gone almost all the way to the far bleachers.
That will show you what the players are having to deal with there with the ball when it gets into the air. It's doing all sorts of different things, and that's where anticipation and first touch and positioning can be put off.
Meanwhile, another foul conceded here, as now the Calgary press is getting a little more familiar. If you're Victoria, this is the kind of attack they faced on Friday.
Yeah, and Victoria a couple of goals up. It's going to be an inevitable 20-minute wave of Calgary really trying to press for something, and Victoria probably going to be hoping more for kind of counter-attacks and maybe some set pieces to slow the game down a little bit. But Calgary are going to come strong here. So what about the delivery on this?
As he paces it off, wants to get this absolutely right. Referee keeping an eye on the mixer there. More than a little bit of jostling. Here comes the delivery. It's decent, but Banton is there. Hill will nod it. Davidson, excuse me. Bent gets around, sliding in his Shojai to concede the throw in.
Yeah, Victoria really pumped up right now, and they've got 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes left to sternly defend and maybe get an opportunity at the other end on a counter.
Ball falls into the area dangerously. Wild shot at it, now headed clear by Shojai, only as far as Pritchard, who will take the throw. Still all the bodies forward. There isn't a single Foothills player in their own half. Harrison is the only one even close to defending, and now he'll have to. As the header goes up, Shambusho jumps with Chamoun, who wins that. Young, over the top, and Tigny's well offside, doesn't even try for it. Decano has his arms raised saying, I was over here. I know the wind's blowing in that direction, but I did have space.
Yeah, that's where Calgary are not comfortable with being pressed so highly there, and it just forces errors.
We'll have a second substitution, it looks like, coming in here, and indeed, Victory Shambusho's day appears to be done. He's certainly had a half-decent one, though he is on a yellow. This definitely makes sense for me as a substitution.
Yeah, as Papadinets comes in.
Number 9, Victory Shambusho.
Papadinets is no surprise here. He'll go out into that wide position. I imagine we'll see more of a 4-4-2 here now if you're the Highlanders, into something a little more familiar for them. Maybe they push Papadinets forward, maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's more trying to help stretch that play, or at least help contain stretched play from Calgary, if it comes to that. Meanwhile, all the way back this goes to Jackson. Goes long for Bent. Shojai will just calmly let that roll out as it went over both his and Bent's heads.
Second substitution in the 70th minute for Foothills FC, leaving the game.
Yeah, the only real attacking option now for Victoria is a Long balls over the top, looking for the pace of Intigi. He's going to be more than likely one-on-one with a centre-back as Calgary push forward for this one. So it's a lot of patience as the emphasis switches towards defence for Victoria. And Calgary, yeah, they need to push for something.
They'll no doubt hope they can get some of that push from Francesco Bartolillo, who has been brought in place of Dan Hayfield. So this is a very much an offensive-minded substitution here. Hayfield has been great in that holding role, but now his position will be moved here in favor of Bartolillo. Bent up against Papadin 7-on-7, gets past, nice little burst of speed, cuts back, sliding in but holding up with Shojai, and he had to, because if he'd followed through with that, that's a penalty every day of the week, and maybe some ankle damage as well. Instead, Shojai goes long, puts that out to the athletic track.
Corey Bent did really well down that right-hand side, seemingly nowhere to go, manufactures something and some shaky defending, but they eventually get it away, but this is going to be a long throw from Pritchard.
Bent now. Certainly provided no small amount of spark since coming in on the 45th. Guillermo diving header. Hill with Campanelli all over him. In steps Papadinets. He will again put that back downfield, but keeping it from going into touch that time is Shamoun. Pritchard out wide. Cross comes in, looking for Kunle. Does get it on the bounce, but just puts it back into the dirt. Or the pitch, if you will, and Antigone now chases down this headed back, and Jackson rolls it right back out. Shamoun. Nobody making that run, though. And that's a bit of wasted possession for Calgary, and Norgrove will just happily
no rush.
Wait for the ball kids to fetch him another. Warming his hands a little bit inside his gloves as the wind nips away. You can see just the billowing of the net here. The flags are still whipping. Though it has died a little bit in recent time, it's a presence. Just look at the trees in the background if you can see them.
And that ball just holds up there. It's tricky to bring down for Victoria.
Takano strips that from Fakunle, but then loses out in the end as over comes Bartolillo, but in the process wins the foul. So set piece here. To be set up with deliberation. No, they just thump it forward for Takano on the overlap, who wins the corner out of it. But that was an emphatic way to win that corner, and that does not look like a happy customer down on the ground, as paying for that was Harrison.
Yeah, the majority of the male attendees at the game have all shrieking a little bit after that one. It's a great strike from the winger there to get the ball across, and it's unfortunate that it's hit him straight in the family jewels.
Yeah, Takano's run there as Adib took that quickly, seeing that Takano had the space to make the overlap, and he's up and moving as Harrison.
Good for him.
Even Stryker, the mascot, has to applaud for that. And there he is, upward and mobile. Daniel Harrison came on at halftime as well as a sub with Bent. And now Shojai does whip this into the area. It's high, cleared. Falling down was Guillermo, who is now not happy at all with Shamoun. The referee's seen that. Yep, that's his second yellow. No, yes, he has. That is a second yellow for Connor Guillermo. Bit of red missed there as he came charging back into the area. He did not like the way he was treated, and now Connor Guillermo has just really changed the narrative of this game, because now Calgary have their way back in.
Yeah, we're going to see a replay of this. I think the referee...
Oh, and there is a yellow being given out as well for the altercation.
The referee... Guillaume goes down in the middle where the ball was nowhere to be seen. The referee's not watching it, and Guillaume gets up and reacts, but it's, he's... For me, it's a very harsh second yellow card. I mean, he didn't really do anything too aggressive, asking a question or two, but, it's a passionate game down there. The referee should know that. Maybe take a second to talk with the players, but without no hesitation, he's pulled the red card out. Unfortunate for Victoria.
Pritchard also received a yellow on that, so perhaps it was him who was also involved, at the very least, to try to break things up. Regardless, if there was ever a way for the Foothills to get back into this, this is it. 15 minutes to go. And now Coach Niendorf has to figure out who he can bring in. Adib right now has moved centrally, and Hill is now sitting as the right back.
Yeah, it's going to be 4-4-1,
Yeah,
really.
exactly. Young. Well played by Peppel, intercepted by Hill. Who goes long. Nothing fancy here. It's Chamoun. Pritchard. Chamoun. Calgary don't have the biggest luxury of time, but they can pick their moments at the very least. They have a little bit more room to work with, less press, certainly. And they can march that attack downfield whatever pace they like. And Chamoun decides he likes a little more pace to his. Campanelle. Bent. Almost gets past Adib there, just couldn't control it. Takano thought about challenging Hall there. Thought better of it. Bartolillo. Bakunle. Crosses. Right to Shojai. Antigny. Touches it back for Davidson, who just banks it straight off of Bartolillo. Bent. Waits for Pritchard to provide some assistance. Campanelle. Back to Chamoun. Even Jackson's moving forward a little bit from the Calgary goal. As Calgary press forward, Bent on the overlap, but it just gets away from him, and Papadinitz will send that out to the far corner. Shojai stays in. Campanelle keeps it in. There's the delivery. Right to Banton.
Go.
And a chance here, but Harrison is there ahead of Antigny. The pressure continues. Campanelle. Pritchard. Goes low. This time it's easily dumped clear and out by Adib. Having moved centrally now. Taller body playing in the center, not a huge surprise.
Yeah, Calgary going to start throwing the kitchen sink, but right now Victoria have got an answer for it.
Bartolillo. Peppel, they're looking for the overlap. Banton comes off of his leg. He has to play it and does. Goes over the top, just Route 1 defending. There's nothing fancy about it now for the Highlanders. Put your remaining 9 outfield players behind the ball. And hope for the best is almost the order of the day here. Chamoun. And Bent. Antigny tries to intercept that. A little bit late. Campanelle switches. Takano's going to try and pressure Hall. He might get something here, but Hall, that's a clinical touch from Hall. He needed to get that right.
Yeah, that was nice.
Harrison. Low. Knocked out. And it will be a throw for Foothills. Hand delivery. Hall. Bakunle. Harrison. And Bakunle play the 1-2. Campanelle. Low again, intercepted by Adib. Only as far as Pritchard. Low delivery, looking for the run of Bent. Bent's delivery. High to the back post. Nobody there, and Takano is the first man to just put it up. Only as far as the edge of the penalty area. Bakunle now battling for it. It's coming together bodies. Bartolillo there. So is Sean Young, and Young will put it out for a throw. Nervy moments here, and there's still at least 11 more of them. Long throw ready to be uncorked here by Gordon Hall. And there is Hall's long throw. Right into the area Norgrove claims. And we'll just tell everybody to take a breather. You've earned it.
Yeah, it's so difficult to deal with this pressure when it's just coming at you wave after wave and it's coming right back here. It's not a smart kick. And 10 minutes plus stoppage time. Victoria, 10 men. It's all going to be about, can Calgary find a key for the lock? That is not it.
Saw the idea there. They had 2 runners in motion. But unfortunately, Norgrove was there first. And now Antigny. Doesn't need to do anything special, but he'll try anyway. Takano plays him in. A little bit behind, but Antigny. And a little shove there. Double shove from Harrison. Still nothing. And now Antigny battling at the edge of the area. Now the AR has decided that is indeed a foul. But he's given it against Antigny.
Wow. What is happening?
I saw... And the supporters are not thrilled at all. as they saw Antigny getting manhandled there by Harrison and getting nothing for it. Instead, substitution coming in.
Banton's on the floor right now.
And Davidson is the one who is being subbed out as the substitution is happening. And Cawley's coming in. So this is a defend for your life substitution right here.
Absolutely. Davidson's done so well today.
Cawley, chance perhaps to make amends for, I wouldn't say make amends, but he was definitely outmatched in Friday's contest. As you are right, Banton is down. I'm hoping it's just cramping for Banton, his second match in 3 days. But that's not a player they need to lose right now. Losing Guillerme is bad enough. Losing Banton would surely be perhaps a hill too high to climb.
Yeah.
Campanelli plays it out to the right. Hill still sitting at right back here. Heads it down. Imagine if Cawley is going to come in, he will probably shift into that position, but right now he is playing more of a forward role, the one vacated by Davidson. Higher up in midfield at the very least. 4 at the back for the Highlanders. They've got almost like a double pivot of defensive midfielders shielding them, and then a 3-line attack. 4-2-3 if you like. Fakunle. As Hill goes back to cover Peppel. That's where it goes. Nice move by Peppel. Left footer, low, top of the area, Campanelli! He checked his shot. That gave the Highlanders time to get in the way, and Young will play for Takano. Cuts inside. Low ball for Antigny, who will go on the run against Harrison. Harrison moves in. Gets the ball.
Good tackle. Just showed him a little bit too much of it there. It gave him the opportunity to get the ball in, but bravo from Victoria there, getting out with a little bit of passing and not hoofing the ball up with that one. They're able to actually take a breath a lot further up the pitch as we're at 83 and ticking.
Kano's throw into Antigny. Turned over, and Fakunle from his own penalty area. Back to Jackson. And Campanelli. Forward goes the Calgary attack. Bent, far right-hand side. Intercepted. Well, the interception was almost intercepted there. His Highlander boots coming together between Young and Takano. Papadinitz. Back to Shojai. Pressured, but gets rid of it.
Yep, there's nothing wrong with that right now.
He's very happy. That's well placed, good weight to put it to the corner flag. Chamoun. Striding forward. Campanelli. Looks for Peppel, who changed his run now and has swapped sides, it looks like, or at the very least shifted further right, but he concedes the foul there. Norgrove will calmly assess the situation. Where does he want to play? This is the wind begins ripping here now. And he goes right for the head of Chamoun. And Pritchard has to move to keep this. He does. Chamoun. Hall. Bartolillo. Fakunle. Switches out for Pritchard. Oh, but that's gone right through his legs. Don't think Fakunle intended to nutmeg his own right fullback.
Tired legs, I think, as we're coming into the last 5 minutes of the game. Boys played a very competitive one a couple of days ago.
That's a good shout right there. I would not be surprised if we start to see that. Takano, head full of steam. Don't tell him he's too tired to run. Bartolillo to Campanelli. Pritchard, one touch to Bent. Bent, great speed by Bent. Banks it off of Young. That'll be a corner.
Really great anticipation by Young. He saw the danger. Corey Bent, a very strong, quick player. Anticipating that and putting it out for a corner where Victoria can try and keep that defensive wall strong and keep Calgary from having a late charge in this one.
Oh, brief pause here. Referee doesn't like the jostling that he sees.
Total to be taken
Now the delivery. Looking back post, Norgrove claims in the thick of it. Almost from his goal line. Throws long, he's seen Takano. Shuntakano has space and time as Pritchard comes back.
Should be running to the corner here.
He heard Campanelli running, and Campanelli does strip it off of him, but he gives away the throw off the boots of Takano, though, and it will be a Calgary throw. Taken quickly.
Thanks everyone for playing, and the winning collection can be made just by the Phillips tent.
Jackson looks long. 4 targets to pick from. Shojai is not one of them. Pritchard with the throw to Bent. Substitution waiting here for the Foothills, and Norgrove spills it initially, but is right there. And Norgrove is all too happy. Think about where he wants to place this, and he will send it directly out. Bit wasteful, but it does allow the substitution to happen here. And it will be coming out. That will be Chamoun coming out. And coming in.
Substitution in the 88th minute for Foothills FC.
I believe that is Ornero.
Number 24.
Yes, that is Everett Ornero coming in here.
Coming into the game, number 17.
Why not? It's an offensive substitution. They need 2 goals. Pull off the center back. As the supporters give their opinion of that substitution. Campanelli. Low and forward to Ornero. Pritchard. So many black jerseys to pick from, but he's over the head of all of them.
Such a poor ball in. He's got space and time to just put a delivery in there, but got it all wrong. Whether that was the wind that carried the ball a bit further, but you know, that's where if you've got that space and time to just clip a ball into the danger area, especially when 3 or 4 of your players are attacking it, you can't be putting up balls like that.
Harrison to his matching 23. Colley's happy to see that. Fly all the way to Jackson. Campanelli. Ornero with a little flick there forward to Akio, but it goes nowhere in the end. But Bent as well to intercept from Young. Corey Bent tries to bulldoze his way into the area. And he wins the foul, but further back on the initial little move. And now a free kick in a nice location here for the Foothills.
Would I be right in saying this would be the first victory for Victoria over Calgary?
You had to say that before the final whistle, didn't you, Simon? You just had to say
that. Oh, it's
that.
over. Don't worry about it, everybody. This is going over. Be a goal kick in a second. Don't worry. Trust me.
Bent to take this. He may go for goal from this distance, though he has plenty of targets, but does not do. Low, high shot cleared immediately by Takano. Only as far as Bartolillo puts it right back in. Hill chests that down. Norgrove calls him off. 30 seconds of time remaining, plus whatever is added on. And Gauthier Antigny plays it forward. Going for a run here is Papadinets, but he can't vault the slide of Bartolillo there.
Very good tackle. Into the corner.
Young chips it over. Antigny brings it down. And still has it, and now concedes the foul, and much to the consternation of everyone in a white kit and sitting in the stands. We've played the full 90. It's on the referee's discretion now how much longer this game will continue. 3 extra minutes, say the 4th official. And that will be a goal kick. Lovely defending there.
The 4th official is indicated.
3 minutes to go. Norgrove on that goal kick. Got some clutch defending there, putting that off the boots of Peppel. And Norgrove goes long. Why wouldn't he? Pritchard will run this down. That's well placed by Norgrove. All the way to the back corner. Jackson. Waits for all his other outfield players to move forward. Only Pritchard really hanging back here. Hall just keeping an eye on Antigone, but everybody else, all hands on deck. Campanelli goes charging into his own bench there. And actually, he's given the throw the other way, it looks like. It will be a Highlanders throw.
Take that.
They absolutely will. Shojai doesn't waste any time. Finds Papadena, who flicks it on. Can Antigone get around here? Now there's an arm raised, but it's again Antigone's who gets called. And now...
So that's a free kick. That's a free kick to Calgary for sure, but like you're throwing an elbow up there at another player and it's not even discussed, and the Guillaume second yellow card, it's referees blowing my mind today.
Bakunle. Hall. Pritchard. Duel of sevens here. Bent and Papadinitz. Bent puts the cross to the back post. It's high. Back across the area. Shojai gets there, chests it, clips it, and goes for a run. Iliad Shojai goes down, does get the call. For a moment there, I thought he wasn't. Played quickly, and on the run here is Papadinitz. Has some space. He's into the area. Antigone's calling for it. Papadinitz walks forward, goes down. No call. Referee isn't interested. No surprise there. Though there really was nothing in it. It's never a penalty.
No. But Shojai, let's talk about the energy bunny down there. I want to know what he had for lunch.
He's on his, this will be his second full 90 in 3 days, still burning up midfield in stoppage time. Cross here looking for Akio. It's not going to find his head. Hill runs it forward and just gets rid of it. It'll fall to Antigone, who is offside. I'm sure he won't mind in the slightest. And there is one more substitution waiting here. And it looks like coming in will be Kensho Ando for Gauthier Antigone. Antigone's had a great day at the office, got the goal, started things off, and Ando will get a run out to hopefully provide some energy. Why not have a little bit of extra energy in stoppage time? Why not?
Yeah, I think that's a smart substitute, really slowing it down. If Ando gets a touch on the ball, I'd be surprised.
He tried to there. Ando does get there. Decano to Ando, and now Campanelli out to Bent. Goes for a run at Shojai. Bent so much pace, and he is brought down by Shojai, according to the AR. Bent did have a step on him, and Shojai had to get that tackle right. He didn't. The only mercy he has was outside the area, not inside. So while it's not the greatest position, it's more or less a kid's distance for a corner kick, I suppose.
Sure, yeah. Not sure the keeper's not in there. They might as well try and get a goal.
Jackson's thinking about it. He's now moving into the center circle, leaving only a hungry crow to defend his net, it looks like. Taken low. They were looking for everybody there. Headed off the line, but Shojai and put in with a stinger by Akio. They think they can get two. They've got one, but nope. That's it. The final act of the game is a goal for the Foothills, and for the first time in their existence, the Highlanders have defeated the Foothills 2-1.
Fantastic performance from Victoria today. Thoroughly impressive. A complete different display that we saw on Friday. They thoroughly, for me, deserved the 3 points. They took their opportunities that came their way. Calgary pressed and pressed, but Victoria had an answer for everything that came forward. An unfortunate red card for Victoria, harshly given in my opinion, as we see some...
This is the final goal here.
Yeah, the ball came in, it's popping up around, headed away, and then just ripped in for the volley.
It's
very
a
nice.
Lovely side kick, though.
Yeah,
Love
nice.
the scissor kick.
Nice finish.
If nothing else, Willie Akio gets the Style Award for the afternoon, but unfortunately Style only gets you so far. It gets him on the scoreboard, but not enough. With that, there's only one home match remaining, and it's the Wanda Fuca Plate Final. TSS Rovers from Vancouver will be at Centennial Stadium on Friday, July 5th. Kickoff is 7:15 p.m. We're going to show you some goals. Hopefully it gets your appetite wet for more on July 5th. For Simon Brazier, my name is Roturo. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time from Centennial Stadium.